Let's turn our attention to edge rushers. Who are some of the top-end guys that kind of grab your attention? And is there like an ultra-elite kind of game changer that you see in this year's class on the edge?
There really isn't. And we've been spoiled the last few years when you think about it with Myles Garrett and the Bosas. Chase Young last year, no doubt about it, top player in the draft. This year, we just don't have that guy. We might not have a pass rusher drafted top 10, which would be the first time that's happened in over a decade. So, but that doesn't mean that it's a weak class. I think once you go into the mid to late first and into the second round, there are some intriguing names there. And that's good news for the Browns, obviously picking at 26, a pretty good pass rusher who might be flawed in some ways. Could fall to them. Azeez Ojulari, to me, is the top pass rusher out of Georgia. 6'2" and a quarter, 250 pounds. A really, really disruptive player because of his get off. He's a long player. Even though he's only 6'2", 250, he has the arm length, 34.5-inch arms. He has the arm length of a player that's 6'5". So you have talking about a player who's only 20 years old. He's coming off a season where he led the SEC in sacks, tackles for loss, and forced fumbles. And then the tape checks out. He's a guy that the initial quickness, his ability to bend the corner, he has instincts. He's not just an athlete out there. He's a guy that understands what the offense is trying to do, and he finds the football, both versus the run and versus the pass. So I would be surprised if he fell to 26, but you never know. He could still be available. And if he is, I think that the Browns will be all over him. I think Jaelan Phillips from Miami is another really interesting pass rusher in this group. When you talk about possibilities in the first round, there are some flashes where you see the Bosas because he understands what he's doing with his hands. He can beat you in different ways. Power, quickness. He's not just a guy that's relying on his athleticism out there. He understands what it means to have a pass rush plan and to sync moves together, just the dance of pass rush. And so Jaelan Phillips is really interesting. He's got a medical history, and so that's kind of similar to the Caleb Farley conversation. You have to be confident in his ability to stay on the field. That's something that will ultimately determine where he is drafted. And then one more player I wanted to mention, who's one of the more intriguing guys in this class, is Jayson Oweh out of Penn State, who is the freakiest of the freaks when you just talk about a natural ability. 6'5", 260 pounds, ran a 4.37, which, that's better than Greg Newsome, the corner from Northwestern. That's better than most wide receivers are running out there. And he did it at 260 pounds. He's a former basketball player, still discovering, what it takes to be a high-level pass rusher. 0 sacks last year for Penn State in 7 games. And that's the number that's going to keep coming up with Jayson Oweh. But when you watch the tape, he was consistently disruptive. He was in the backfield affecting what the quarterback was doing. And ultimately, that's what you want. I know pass rushers are judged by sacks, but for a disruption, that's production. I want guys that affect what the quarterback is doing. And Jayson Oweh can do that. And you feel like he's not even close to, ultimately what he's going to be, just scratching the surface. So Oweh in the late first round is very, very intriguing.